Holy fuck. Don't Breathe is directed by Fede Alvarez, the man who brought us the Evil Dead reboot from 2013. This stars Jane Levy, Dylan Minnette, some guy whose name I forgot, name I'll put right here, and Stephen Lane. In this film, a trio of burglars break into people's houses, but then decide this one awesome break-in, or at least they think it's going to be awesome. They break into this house of this rich, elderly, blind man, and once they get inside, they realize it's not as awesome as they planned it to be. It goes into deep, crazy shit. And we have our movie. I was really looking forward to this movie. I heard nothing but great things about this movie ever since its premiere at the South by Southwest Film Festival. I love a good horror movie. And whenever I hear it's good, I have to rush out to go see it because I've said this before and I'll say it again. I'm not a big fan of the horror genre, but when I hear someone's good, I have to go see it. And I love this movie. I had a blast with Don't Breathe. This is a heart-gripping, intense, jaw-dropping thriller that just leaves you on the edge of your seat. You have no idea what's going to happen. You think you have an idea, but it mocks the cliches so brilliantly that we get one of the best horror films in years. And it's honestly one of the best horror films of this decade thus far. Fede Alvarez, dude, you are awesome. Now, I have to admit that I have not seen the Evil Dead reboot in its entirety, but I've seen clips and I was blown away. This guy is like a James Wan, where he's so good with horror that he knows that he puts in the cliches, but there's nice twists that are so unexpected that you're just like, wow, I'm blown away. The acting from everyone is perfect. There is not one performance in this movie that I was just like, that was not very good. Jane Levy, I love you. You are amazing in this movie. You are a pure badass. You, in my opinion, are a really underrated actress. You rock. You're great in this movie. Rocky, that's one of my favorite characters of this year. Dylan Minnette was pretty darn good. I think he's one of those actors that's now starting to get more recognition because I always feel like he's been underrated. My first exposure to him was on the final season of Lost, and he's been in movies like Prisoners and Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day, and recently Goosebumps, and he was good in all those films, but here he shines. He's so good in this movie. The other guy, Money, like I said, I forgot the actor's name, but he was pretty darn good too, although he did resemble Jared Leto from Panic Room in a little bit, and Stephen Lane. Oh my god. This performance terrified the shit out of me. Stephen Lane is a terrifying looking guy, but he's so good at playing the villain. Like, he's so good. I want him as Cable. Everyone says he should play Cable. I agree. He's got to play Cable in Deadpool 2. Make that happen. The writing was very, very good. The direction was awesome. I was terrified. And whenever I go into a horror movie, I want to be scared. My jaw was dropped from, like, the beginning to the end of the movie. Every 5 minutes, my jaw was just like, it was crazy. I think I almost had a heart attack during the movie, and I mean, you can't go into this movie without having one. That sounded wrong, but it's the truth. This, to be quite honest, might just be the best horror movie I've seen this decade so far. Like, The Witch is the better made film, but I enjoy this one a lot more than The Witch because The Witch is so dreary and sad and depressing and gloomy. This movie is entertaining, it's exhilarating, it's electric. I was trying to think of 3 words that begin with the letter E, so, you know. But the things that get me the most, like, I mean, you got these guys trying to make sure they don't get killed by this blind dude. And the title symbolizes don't breathe, because if you breathe, this guy will hear you, and this guy will beat the living crap out of you. So we have to be careful. And I was glued. I loved Don't Breathe so much. It's not only one of the best horror films I've seen in years, it's the best horror film of the year so far, and to be quite honest, it's one of the best films I've seen so far this year. My only flaw, and I have a very, very tiny flaw, the last 3 minutes of this movie I didn't like. Like, I don't consider that the real ending. The real ending is everything that happens before the last 3 minutes of this movie. But overall, everything else was great. The acting was great. The direction was awesome. The writing was pretty solid. The thrills were there. The scares were there. I adored Don't Breathe, and I'm going to be honest with you, even though those last 3 minutes I didn't like, I could push aside because everything else was incredible. I'm going to give Don't Breathe an A+. I know that may be shocking, but to be quite honest, it's just my opinion. My opinion doesn't always matter, but this is my personal opinion. If you didn't love the movie like I did, that's totally fine. But I would like to know what you guys thought of the movie down below in the comments. What's your favorite horror thriller thus far? Like, ever? What's your favorite thriller movie? Let me know down below. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys soon.